For more than 10 years, the renowned police drama Blue Bloods has enthralled viewers with its compelling depiction of the commitment of the Reagan family to New York. However, city police officers over the many things have occurred over the years in the history that most fans, most likely, not even aware of, despite the fact that the majority of the show takes place in New York City. And did you realize that it was the NYPD? Toronto was nearly shot. Or have you ever wondering the reason for Jennifer Esposito's news reports for being contentious? Prepare to be dismissed from the show as we unearth 12 of the most astounding, startling behind-the-scenes information regarding, first of all, Blue Bloods you never met. The sons of Danny Reagan are actually brothers, one of the most unexpected aspects of life. The details of the Blue Bloods scene include the performers portraying Danny Reagan's. In actual life, sons are brothers. Correct Tony Tarano and Andrew, who play. Jack and Sean Reagan are not. Merely acting like siblings on television, they show off a true brotherly bond. Additionally, this private bond includes a distinctively realistic touch to their performance, as their natural rapport and reciprocal comprehension are demonstrated in there. Even the age disparity in on-screen sequences during the show between Tony and Andrew is the same as their actual age difference. Before obtaining these positions at the age of 8, and Tony and Andrew, who were 6 years old, had achieved accomplishment as a child already. Actors prior to the appearance of Blue Bloods Tony in several supporting parts, such as voice work, he provided the character's voice. The animated series Wilson, Chuggington, which ran between 2000 and 2011. This position assisted him in enhancing his acting abilities and equipped him to upcoming on-screen parts. Andrew, additionally, followed in the footsteps of his brother into. Jack was his first significant acting role. The brothers started their journey on Blue Bloods. Early life journey on Blue Bloods. Growing up with their fictional characters in front of millions of people. This special. The arrangement enables a portrayal of brother, affection that seems organic and enhances. Due to the film's emotional appeal, viewers frequently admire how well the boy relationship on screen reflects their bond with their real-life sibling off-screen. Relationship gives the Reagans dimension. Family narratives that offer a strong basis for the sentimental and frequently intricate stories they handle from family dinners to school issues. The honesty that Tony and Andrew brought always strengthens the program's dedication to presenting an approachable and realistic family. Dynamic as the two get older, the siblings have demonstrated a strong interest in following several routes both within and outside of the entertainment sector. Tony has been making progress in his education, suggesting that he may be ambitious, that go beyond his acting profession. In contrast, Andrew is happy with his stance on Blue Bloods and might look for more acting roles. Filming for the second line was nearly moved to Toronto in spite of the New York City's significance to the identity of the program, financial difficulties, almost compelled the production to switch to. Filming in New York for Toronto is really costly, with significant permit charges, places and workers to oversee these, costs that filmmakers frequently search for other locations where they can aim for a better, reasonably priced Toronto with its diverse. There are now cityscapes and tax advantages as a preferred alternative to New York City in a variety of TV
More
shows
good
and
news.
movies from the first
Yeah.
several seasons of Blue. The production team came across Bloods, significant financial constraints, the New York's high shooting costs, generated heated discussions regarding the potential to change the production. Such a move to Toronto could have undermined the authenticity of the show as the distinct ambiance of New York City enhances richness to its story. Admirers of the series may be unaware of how close Blue Bloods arrived to shoot its renowned new scenes from York in another city in the terminate the choice to continue filming in New York was affected by multiple elements. New York City's legitimacy as the city's backdrop was irreplaceable. Distinctive ambiance, identifiable landmarks, and the cultural importance it provided were also essential to the show. Backing from local authorities and the application of removing tax breaks for movies helped ease some, despite the monetary difficulties that make it. Blue Blood's potential to remain in New York's decision to stay in New York allowed Blue Bloods to remain loyal to its roots and keep offering the genuine. New York's audience appreciates that this choice cemented the series' commitment to depicting the city truthfully and
More
has
good
made a
news.
contribution
Yeah.
important to the success of the show. A cast member at number 3 was infamously dismissed Amy Carlson, who, in Blue Bloods, as Linda Reagan, was abruptly cut from the series. Following season 7, her character's death that was made public in season 8. Viewers were taken by surprise by PRPR, which was a startling development in the plot. The audience had built a solid relationship with Linda Reagan, and her absence produced a large gap in. The program is among the most contentious. Carlson's departure included the absence of a farewell on film rather than a fitting farewell to Linda Reagan's passing was off-screen for a brief moment as a tragedy. Helicopter accident that happened between. This method of approaching her characters. Many people thought that exit was hurried and disappointing, leaving both admirers and critics of the actor's perceptions that Linda Reagan ought to have left with more. Amy Carlson is impactful and courteous. Herself was taken aback by the choice in interviews. She conveyed her dissatisfaction over the way her character left. Carlson had anticipated a larger, important plot point for mark her departure that would pay tribute to her contributions made by the characters in the
More
series.
good news.
Her response stopped the debate as it brought attention to a perceived deficiency of dialogue and deference from the show's producer's decision to fire Amy. Carlson had an impact on more than just the audience, as well as the actors Donnie Wahlberg, who depicts Danny Reagan, who also provided his shock and sadness upon Carlson's departure from the screen time as a dynamic duo has been a crucial component of the show and her. Fans were severely affected by the leaving, vocally expressing their displeasure by using social networking platforms to share their disappointment and demand provide numerous answers. Believed that the persona of Linda Reagan was essential to the family dynamic of the show and that her abrupt departure interrupted the series' emotional movement in reaction to the criticism that the creators of Blue Bloods recognized the fans' responses, but maintained their choice. They emphasized the importance of moving forward, character development and storylines, proving that the death of Linda Reagan served as a catalyst for new plots, particularly for the role of Danny Reagan. Danny, at number 4, is portrayed by another unexpectedly popular band member, behind-the-scenes information regarding Blue Bloods. Is Danny Reagan that character?
More good news.
Depicted by Donnie Wahlberg, this, formerly a part of the well-known boy band. Following the band's performance, New Kids on the Block. Established in the 1980s, they rapidly acquired popularity and made a name for themselves as among the best-known boy bands in it. Donnie Wahlberg was among the historical founding members of the group, which, additionally, included Jonathan Knight and Jordan Knight, Danny Wood and Joey McIntyre. After, when the group broke up in 1994, Donnie Wahlberg successfully transitioned into the acting profession. He began making appearances in a number of parts in TV shows and films that showcase his degree of versatility as an actor in. Wahlberg was cast as Danny in 2010. Reagan's portrayal in Blue Bloods of the tough, dedicated NYPD cop has played a significant role in the shows. Nowadays, Danny Reagan is acknowledged, recognized for his steadfast dedication to his occupation and his loyalty to his. Tom Selleck was the 5th member of the family. Thomas Magnum, the original. One fascinating aspect of Blue Bloods is that the first Thomas was Tom Selleck. Magnum from the vintage television show. Tom Selleck's portrayal of Magnum P.I. Magnum P.I.'s Thomas Magnum is among the most recognizable parts in the history of television. The program ran from 1980 to 1988, highlighted Selleck as a charming, easygoing, Hawaii-based private investigator. The confluence of his character's strengths, his charm and sense of humor made him a favorite among spectators, which helped Selleck, noted while it was broadcasting Magnum. P.I. was immensely well-liked, accomplishing enormous success in terms of both audience size and. Selleck's role in ratings was a major, contributed to the popularity of the show, resulting in his Emmy Award victory for drama series top lead actor in. In 1984, Thomas Magnum emerged as a pivotal moment in Selleck's career. He has a lot of cinematic opportunities. On his portrayal of Magnum on television, became a byword for his image, distinguished by the recognizable mustache, the signature and Hawaiian shirts. Ferrari's status was cemented by this role as a television personality and pioneered for upcoming triumphs following Magnum P.I. Tom. Seelig kept becoming more well-known in the roles in films and the film industry, and cameos on a variety of TV. However, his portrayal of Frank Reagan in the 2010 film Blue
More good
Bloods
news.
signaled his return to television. Featured as the NYPD officers, Reagan's commissioner and patriarch, Family Seelig is enthralled once more. Crowds with his commanding butt. Tom's sixth act of compassion. Tom, Seelig nearly gave up the mustache. Among the most popular is the Selleck mustache. Its distinguishing characteristics in Hollywood. Got well known while he was on Magnum, P.I., where it aided in his difficult yet. The mustache's charming persona is not just outlined his personality, but also turned into an important aspect of Chelik's personal identity. Over time, it has continued to be a signature feature while he changed roles to become Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods, but throughout the creation of Blue's debut season. Bloods' Tom was asked to shave by the producers, removed the mustache since they believed he was somewhat too old for it yet. Seelig opposed the idea of removing his mustache, which he knew was significance to his reputation and the connection it made with his followers. He thought the mustache was essential to his charisma and relatability, characteristics, and he hesitated to provide things up. Thankfully, the CBS executives held an other viewpoint.
More
They
good
believed
news.
he looked good with a mustache, so they permitted him to keep it, it seemed. Was a wise decision in the end, Commissioner. Reagan wouldn't appear the same without a mustache. As menacing as he currently is, the home of 7 Commissioner Reagan is a typical setting for New York Blue Bloods, is well known for its dedication to genuineness, particularly in demonstrating the daily activities of the Reagan household who are firmly anchored in the spirit of new. Commissioner Frank Reagan of York City. Tom Chelik's character resides in a magnificent home that demonstrates his status as a well-respected NYPD leader. The home is presented as a gathering spot for family, meetings, conversations regarding matters pertaining to law enforcement, yet intimate moments that illuminate the ties within the Reagan family, the residence that served as Commissioner Reagan's. A well-known filming location is Residence, actual place in New York City. Maronites Middle own the house. For Eastern Catholics, the address is 8070 Bay Ridge's Harbor View Terrace, Brooklyn, despite the fact that it is closed. Visitors who are passing by can quickly catch a sneak peek for Blue Bloods fans, where Commissioner Reagan's house was located, and more real-world
More good
locations
news.
highlighted in the exhibition fosters a feeling of comfort and link, which enables viewers to visualize the lifestyles of characters in a concrete metropolis, background that enhances the story of the show, and enhancing the experience of the audience. The 8th is a retired detective with the NYPD. Usually makes changes to the Blue Bloods scripts, has a former detective from the NYPD on the payroll. James Noiro is his name, and he often examines the scripts prior to Utilized during production because he is a skilled attorney, his role is to make. Yes, the show's made-up stories are comparable to actual police experiences in an interview as much as feasible. Nuoro stated with Country Living magazine, "If they receive a 56-page script, I'll provide them with 5 to 10 pages of the script's notes just entering, conversation using more technical terms as a result. Numerous police personnel are alleged to be. Show viewers by incorporating a 4. Blue, an NYPD detective, is revising a script. Bloods highlights the difficulties with accuracy. The difficulties that the New York police, this level of detail-orientedness is crucial, beyond merely ensuring that the show is technically precise, it aids in
More good
capturing
news.
the subtleties of police operations, including the connections between policemen and the ethical issues that arise when resolving. Len Carew has only 6 cases in the 9th case. Tom Selleck is years older than another. Unexpected information on the casting. Len Carew of Blue Bloods is the one who... Henry Reagan is only 6 years old when he plays. Younger than Tom, his son on screen. Selleck, who plays Henry Frank Reagan. Reagan is shown as sage and knowledgeable former NYPD officer. Commissioner, he stands for the Reagan family's more ingrained customs and concepts that frequently provide guidance and insights to his kids and grandchildren. In spite of the slight age difference, Tom Selleck and Len Carew were able to depict a realistic bond between a father and son on. Their interaction on the screen is distinguished by a combination of respect, love, and sporadic arguments, illustrating the complexity of family members who are actively involved in law enforcement to strengthen their father-son relationship. The makeup and costumes in the presentation are convincing. Teams are important, and Len Carew is frequently styled with makeup to look older, methods that draw attention to certain aspects connected to his aging clothing,
More good
usually made
news.
up of more conventional and conservative attire further supports, in contrast, the elder rank of his persona. Tom Chell's appearance is maintained in a manner that supports his current role as a police officer, commissioner successfully bridging the... For many viewers, the age difference, the performers' differences are not discernible due to the show's deft narrative and the performers' ability to bring their characters to life. This guarantees that the viewers are more centered on the individual, relationships between the characters instead, compared to the actor's true age. 10 John Wicks was performed by Bridget Monahan, Bridget Monahan's wife, who plays Aaron Reagan, Assistant District Attorney. In Blue Bloods had a noteworthy but short-lived part as Helen Wick, the spouse of the main character in the popular action. Blue Bloods' John Wick is a thriller. One of the main players in the Reagan family, renowned for having a keen sense of justice, dedication to her work, and complicated ties to her family members, but in the 2014 movie John Wick, Bridget Monahan assumed an important role that was played, albeit briefly, is the catalyst of emotion for the whole. She portrays the late wife, Helen Wick, in the
More
film
good news.
of Helen John Wick's passing and the later giving her a puppy as a gift. Husband, which sets off a chain of occurrences that are essential to the movies. The character of Helen Wick in the story is presented with a number of moving audio-visual messages and flashbacks that give an explanation of John Wick's happier, even if she doesn't spend much time on screens. The portrayal of Helen by Monahan adds a incredibly intimate and sentimental layer too. The tale of Helen's love and her understanding abrupt death is essential. The deep sense and John Wick's motivations of loss, which drives him to go back to the perilous world he had before. The meal sequences on left number 11 were challenging to photograph, most likely the finest, well-known and most well-liked sequences of Blue Bloods is the meal with the family. There is one in practically every episode, and it keeps the feeling of family intact. It serves as the primary story of the shows, but the family meals take a incredibly long time to shoot frequently, prolonging for up to 5 hours and getting coverage and close-ups of as many. 9 distinct characters require time, as does clearing away the food and table after every action taken to preserve
More good
continuity.
news.
The performers often receive a stir-crazy, was a touch crazy throughout the long shoots, and they manage the tension in. In some respects, Bridget Monahan just dismisses it with a giggle while Donnie Wahlberg naps on the living room couch. Adjacent room set to the dining room setup. Selick uses an additional tactic to make it through the dinner filming, scenarios in which his digestive system is unharmed while he's saying something, or the camera is on him. He frequently grabs a knife and begin putting butter on his bread in this manner. Avoids overindulging in food, and the consistency of his culinary props is remained in the Catholic League at number 12. Protested a Catholic League episode, formerly hailed Blue Bloods as among the few television programs that fairly depict Catholicism, primarily due to straight-laced Frank. Reagan has been portrayed as a loyal, a churchgoer, but all changed in 2014 when the president of the Catholic League, according to Bill Donahue, his group has been inundated with grievances due to an incident where Frank declared the Catholic Church to be a touch off schedule in terms of its Catholic views on homosexuality. League is a
More good
well-known
news.
organization committed to protecting the legal rights of Catholics and making sure they're treated fairly in. The press objected to Frank Reagan's remarks made by the organization's members, and additional viewers who agreed with them believed that the comments depicted the inaccurately or unjustly the Catholic Church, contesting its authority and teachings regarding issues of morality and religion. There was also a cardinal in the episode battling his sexual identity as well as Donahue, an openly lesbian nun, indicated that CBS was activating its viewers and that CBS was making a commitment. Suicide after what he perceived to be an assault about Catholics.